Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Welcome to the PatCave. I'm Pat Clark. And with me, as always, we've got Booty Man Boots. Oh, shit. What was that?
Okay, no.
Is that your karate impression?
It's one of them.
Today, we are talking about a nostalgic kids movie that I think a lot of 90s babies have seen.
I was not one of those 90s babies, yeah.
Well, it is Three Ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was more than that.
so you never seen it?
I'd never seen this before, no. But, so this was brought to the table by Pat, guys. We've been kind of going tit for tat, and then the last one I brought to the table, you obviously know, is Up, and Away. So we're switching things up.
And then we went to Lois and Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was my pick.
That was.
And then I picked again.
Okay.
It's okay.
So Booty gets 2.
You'll get 2.
Woo!
But we're going to try to do like an October special Halloween thing. So
What's happening in October besides the spooky stuff? I'm doing like the Jack Nicholson, like,
what do you
nod at him.
What?
It's my birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The 24th, right?
What the hell? Oh, I thought, well, you're wrong on both accounts because I thought you were like, he's 24.
Oh.
I'm going to be 31, and I was born on the 17th.
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew that.
I'm
That
a
was
Libra.
That was a test.
I'm destined to marry a cat and be alone forever.
Okay. Three Ninjas. So do you have any ninja nostalgia growing up?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were pretty much like the intro to anything ninja. And then I played a game, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden, whatever it was called, on Xbox. So cool, bunch of stealth kills.
Gotcha.
You get to use the ninja stars, and a couple of different weapons. Elektra, she uses ninja weapons.
Okay, let's stop right there.
All right.
What, you saw the movie Elektra?
No, I saw Daredevil.
Okay, sure. So like you mentioned, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
On the box, the VHS of this movie.
Yeah.
How did they sell it at the top?
Oh,
do you remember what it said?
Yeah, they said it's Home Alone meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, because at this time, I think the Turtles were crazy in the theater.
Yeah,
so
they were going strong. I mean, like the big game that I played, I think at Chuck E. Cheese was 88 or 87.
Oh, yeah. Back
So,
to
like,
the first episode talk.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're just circulating.
Well, and that's what it was. I remember this as like Home Alone meets Ninjas.
Okay.
And I loved Home Alone as a kid. I loved setting traps, booby traps, all that stuff.
And how old were you when you probably watched this on VHS?
Well,
or you saw this in the theaters?
This was 92 when it came out. Well, I saw this pretty sure at home.
Okay.
Pretty sure at home on
VHS.
Yeah, because I was born in 92, for those that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Star Wars? Any ninjas there?
I guess, like the Sith assassins, kind of. But I don't think there's anything.
Do they do martial arts?
Nah. I mean, like, yeah, but, like, I wouldn't call it that. Like, they don't call it that.
Sure.
Like, with lightsabers, there's different forms of combat. And you could say, like, arguably there are different forms of martial arts. So, sure.
But not ninjas. They don't ever say
No.
that in Star Wars lore. Okay.
No.
So this movie was peak 92 stuff. I mean, I was watching, and just the soundtrack alone, we were cracking up at. I mean,
To call it a soundtrack is a stretch in itself because it does sound like someone just held the microphone to like a Yoshi video game.
well, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, let's set the mood with the same thing every time.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
Do
All of a sudden, it's,
like it was just comical.
yeah. And I think it was supposed to be. Well, and that's right around. Did this remind you of anything, like watching anything like that? No?
No, off the top of my head, like I think I wrote down like this soundtrack sounds like Thomas the Tank Engine meets like Barney or something. Like it did. That's the one thing that was. It's hilariously awesome because whenever the kids are on screen, guys, it's like joyful and like bubbly and bouncy. But the minute the bad guys come into view, it's like these like wicked guitar like.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like they don't align.
And I think that was with a lot of kids' movies around this time. And, so Karate Kid was in 84.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the Ninja Turtles were popping. I think I was watching, as a kid, a bunch of Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah.
And I probably saw this and was like, freaking out. But can we do a little something for me?
Yeah.
Can ya?
What's up?
Can you pull up the synopsis on Wikipedia for this movie?
I got it right
and read
here.
it? You know, if you guys don't know, Booty is really good at impressions and voices.
Who'd you like?
I want you to do it like the In a World guy.
I will do.
Okay.
I will do my best.
Read it. Read the synopsis of Three Ninjas.
All
for
right,
us.
and I'm just doing this all. This is cold, so
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna clear my throat, get some drink.
Oh, Jesus. ASMR.
Every summer, the Douglas brothers, 12-year-old Samuel, 11-year-old Jeffrey, and 6-year-old Michael visit their grandfather, Mori Tanaka, at his cabin. Mori trains his grandsons in the art of ninjutsu.
I'm gonna click on it and see how we do pronounce that.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll plug in that.
We'll plug it
later.
in later.
As the summer comes to an end, Mori gives each of them a new ninja name based on their personalities: Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum. Meanwhile, the boy's father, Sam Douglas, is an FBI agent who stages a sting operation to entrap a master criminal named Hugo Snyder in the sale of warheads. Snyder flees the trap with the use of his ninja henchmen and then visits Mori, his former business partner. Mori is tested by Snyder's henchmen and defeats them with his grandson's help. Face to face, Snyder threatens Mori's family if he does not tell Sam, his son-in-law.
This is like when Rick and Morty has a,
And then the kids go and the deceased pursuing him. And then those boys get home. Oh, yeah. Gee, Rick, did all the boys get there? Well, a few of them, Morty. Shut up. I'm going to give the recap now.
You want me to keep going? Do you really?
I couldn't understand a word of that, dude.
I know. It's just very...
I thought you said it was 3 sentences.
3 paragraphs.
Well, that's different.
That is very different.
Okay.
That went on way too long.
Well, how about you read the rest normal? Because I
will.
I can see we're getting tired there.
I will. I was. Because I'm like, man.
In a world, when the boys return home.
All right. When the boys return home, they find their father unenthusiastic to see what they had learned during their visit with Grandpa, and more annoyed that they have new names. Emily, a friend of Rocky's, the oldest, compliments his new name and agrees. This is like directly just like word for word what the movie is.
Word for word.
You want me to keep saying this?
See, this is what I wanted you to read. Right.
You found it?
Well, I typed I typed in 3 Ninjas synopsis.
Oh, shit.
And you didn't think of that?
It was just on Wiki, so
All
I
right,
thought
ready?
I'd
My
read.
turn.
Pat's turn.
In a world.
Wait a second. I didn't tell you could read them like that.
Oh, okay. What voice?
Nah, just do it.
You got any idea?
Read it like Splinter from Ninja Turtles. No,
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Read it like Bob Saget. All right, just read.
Kids, back in the day, 3 young siblings, Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum Douglas, arrive at their summer stay with their ninjutsu master grandpa, who passed down their knowledge. That's how I met your mother.
Young siblings Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum Douglas arrive for their summer stay with their ninjutsu master. I'm not even going to say that right. Ninjutsu. All right. Young siblings Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum Douglas arrive for their summer stay with their ninjutsu master grandpa, who has...
Keep going.
I'm trying it one more time.
No, just
one more.
Who is...
Fail swoop.
Okay.
Young siblings Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum Douglas arrive for their summer stay with their ninjutsu master grandpa, who has passed down... It's very difficult.
Keep going.
Who has passed down his vast knowledge of martial arts to the boys. But they're accosted by the criminal Snyder, a rogue ex-student of Grandpa's who kidnaps the boys as part of a scheme to get their FBI agent dad, Sam. But Snyder doesn't know.
Just
Keep going.
I'm going to vomit. I'm like laughing, and that's why it's happening.
I know.
But Snyder doesn't know just how skilled these abductees are.
That's not even a great...
It's a horrible synopsis.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's all going to be cut. All right.
No, we're keeping that for sure. I think my first note says these kids are really good at ninjas. I put real ninjas. These kids are great at karate.
You know, that's kind of similar to my first note. Mine was these 3 white kids have a Japanese grandfather.
It's kind of your first note. Yeah.
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 Similar? No.
and this is her mom's dad.
Yes, and she
He's
calls
also
him
white.
father. That's the first time there's even like a backup hint in this movie of
They didn't
giving.
even explain the heritage though,
No,
which is okay for me.
yeah,
She-
it's
she
fine.
could have been adopted, or
yeah,
like he married.
I think she's part.
yeah. Okay. So real dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Gotcha.
And
'Cause
if
she
not,
said
I
she-
have so many further questions. Yeah,
She said one line about that. Well, that's
She
the
did.
Asian heritage in me. Whatever she said.
I feel like
yeah.
there had to have been a scene where like they explain it, but they cut it or something like way earlier. Anyways,
Sure.
um,
So
Uh,
that was my first note. Is I feel like they got these kids because were good at karate, or do you think they
no, that's exactly right
put
because
them through the ringer after they got the parts for acting?
according to what I researched, so the top two kids, so that's Colt and his older brother
Rocky. Yeah.
they were into martial arts.
Okay. Cool.
And one of them also Tum Tum had a black belt.
Oh,
but I
okay.
don't know if he had it when he was that age, but like so it's crazy. All of these kids stopped acting after this series of films.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think 95 was like the last for a couple of them.
Well, so this was pretty successful because
Yeah.
the budget was 2.5 million.
And it
It made 29 million.
insane.
I mean, in 92?
They did the opposite of what the Kangaroo People did.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a glorious backing from their dad, and these guys, I don't know, like
Well, and I don't know. I don't think we even looked into who directed this or
No.
produced it. But
John Turturro. I'm just kidding.
distribution, we've got Touchstone Pictures, Walt Disney Studios. Okay.
John Turturro. It was Touchstone. That's part of Disney.
I mean, they must have collabed on it.
Yeah,
It says
sure.
both of them here. Director is John Turtlebaugh.
Turtle Tob.
Is that how you say it?
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Turtle Tobe. I don't know.
Excellent. Release date was August 7th, 1992. So, did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you find it funny? Because I think it's more of a comedy than anything.
It's not a comedy.
It's for sure comedy.
It's comedically hilarious that you would think it's a comedy, but also
it
that
says family action right here.
this is one of those type of movies where plot comes secondary, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, but it's about creating the imagination of a kid like Patrick Clark or captivating that and letting them think, oh my God, I could totally
could do
defeat
that."
these guys with just ninjas.
They had a
skills.
chance to call the cops and said, I think we should take these
Minute
guys
mark
on.
5, they could have called the cops.
I
and
think we should take these guys on our own. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead a little
and I
bit.
have a theory about was it blackmail or what? We'll get there. We'll get there.
So at the beginning of the movie, we've got them at Grandpa's farm training. So they must stay with Grandpa all summer because they hinted to that throughout the movie. And
They said like every summer. I want to say.
yeah, all summer. I was wondering if it was maybe a couple months, maybe I don't know.
You think they were doing this when they were babies?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's training them. Sometimes they attack him. He attacks.
Yeah, he'll just like bounce up into a tree that he's a 65-year-old man. There's no way he's got the backbone for
He's
this.
a ninja master,
He is, yeah.
and he's teaching him his ways.
Mm-hmm.
They've graduated to the point where they get new names, a mask, outfits.
Yeah, and I think the masks were a tribute, like to the names were like representative of them. I don't know why.
Yeah, he gave him a reason for the names.
He did. It was very much improv on the spot.
I don't think
It felt like it, but
Yeah. And
Anyways.
like Rocky was strong like rock, and then Colt was fast like a horse, and then Tum Tum always ate stuff. I mean, he's a snacker.
yeah. The Tum Tum one, I really wish I could like have a hash on like why was he Tum Tum?
I think he said something about food in your belly and being happy about like gratitude towards having a full stomach or something. I don't know. Grandpa's stunt double was fascinating to watch because it's clearly someone with a pillow stuffed up their shirt.
Yeah, just
and
like
a bald cap
oh man.
and fighting with their head down so
Yeah.
you can't see them. Probably a 30-year-old guy playing a 65-year-old.
But they made $29 million. It's
and
wild.
they nailed the karate and fight scenes, I think.
Yeah.
Because there was not a lot of script. Like it is all fight scenes.
Yeah.
Like long fight scenes.
That goes with one of my notes. Like there was like we're on minute 10 of Hiya. Yeah.
And
yeah.
all three of them
All
said
of
that,
them.
right?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to release a sound, right? I did 2 years of Muay Thai, okay? So
What's the whole stealth thing?
well, when you actually punch, you release you breathe. It's
You
a
release
certain
kung.
breathing, kung,
Yeah.
chi, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And you do you do have to breathe in that. So I get it, but they were yelling it before they attacked.
Oh yeah.
I think there's probably 230.
Oh my god, more.
More?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, all the while, like literally a scene right at the beginning. Like they're really tired, you guys, from like doing their ninja training, and like it's in the middle of it's really cute. The opening to this movie is very cute because it's the oldest boy is kind of updating the audience on his summer of becoming a ninja. Well, then suddenly we're in these kids' rooms, their little bunk beds.
It's all three of them narrating. It's all three of them narrating.
It's all three of them, and they're
the
like,
beginning.
"Cut it out! Like, let me tell it." It's
Yeah.
very sweet.
Yeah.
But then suddenly we're in their room, and he climbs up the little ladder of the little, bunk bed, and he is tickling them with this like feather to like wake them up, and he's like, like he's making these weird. It was wild. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I don't see a lot of that in the new age like kid shows, but maybe it's there. They just got way too comfy with like adults like showing up and like, I'm gonna touch this kid. Like, it's weird. And it was harmless, but it's like, hey,
Well, yeah, it was their
it was grandpa. We didn't know. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I still found it weird. Anyways,
Actually, as a kid, when I first saw, because I've only seen this when I was younger, things were coming back to me. Memories, the jelly beans with the kid I remember those very vividly.
mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of kid that would be like, "Mom, I want to take jelly beans to bed."
Yeah, we'll get to how you
absolutely
can't
not.
slip on jelly beans.
Yeah, but also we'll get to Booty. It's a kids movie.
I know. Yeah, but at least Home Alone made sense. Okay.
Did it? After their training,
Mm-hmm.
it's like their last week there, a couple days maybe. We get the bad guy to show up, right? And this is a guy in a white suit with a slicked back hair, not pushed back, slicked back ponytail.
And again,
Very like Steven Seagal type, like
Yes.
roundhouse kick. Like, you know what I mean?
uh-huh. I couldn't find the name like to describe what this guy looks like. He looks like Steven Seagal, but he talks like unknown. Can't find. 404
Yeah.
does not.
And he's not in a lot of other movies.
I like wrote down just like trying
Like
to describe
none.
this guy. Like I think I wrote Italianese because like he did have like the hey boss. Like he had the guys that are like, come on, we're like
Yeah.
what are they doing over here?
Because he took Grandpa's training and went to be a mob boss, basically.
I would.
Yeah.
That's
he's selling
the vibe.
He's selling warheads.
They look like play school mortars. They literally like
Yeah.
painted red and yellow like those cars, Fisher Price
Yeah.
mortars.
And so basically Snyder, that's his name, right? So he comes to Grandpa and says, "Hey, my ninjas are like not the best," after his grandsons beat up all his ninjas. And he goes, "Come teach my ninjas and also get your son-in-law off my back."
Yeah.
For the FBI agent. And so it's like, you want this guy to train your ninjas and your blackmailing them,
bribe,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like,
And also, he had a surplus of ninjas, and I feel like the little you could see of their faces, they were mostly white. Like it was real weird. Like the not that it like matters. It was just like
Well-
the extras were all just like dudes in
these were,
pajamas.
and these, yeah, they were all dressed up in black outfits with goggles on.
Yeah.
One of my notes says, "Foggy ninja goggles."
Yeah. I mean, it looked cool during the day. Well, suddenly they're at nighttime later in the movie, and it's like, oh, this isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, and they're like, they got a close up on these guys' faces, and they're like breathing into it, like,
And this is in terms of like where we're at in the order of operations events. So like, there's a big bad guy meet at this warehouse shortly after his visit with Grandpa, I think. And that's where we see all of his ninjas. But then, Sam, the boy's father, the FBI agent, they it's a setup. And all of these...
and then the FBI catches them, and catches. I mean, the FBI foils their plan.
They catches them off guard.
Yeah, well, Snyder gets away.
Yeah. Well, before Snyder gets away, the one thing that I noticed, I'm like looking around at like all like these ninjas have, the FBI has all their guns. The ninjas do have some guns. I don't know if you remember, but like it looked like everyone just had like snub nose revolvers. Like the weapons of this movie don't make any sense, and it's delicious. Like it's so fun. Like because like and oh my god, like in the same scene, like so this bad guy, you're right, Snyder gets away miraculously off the rooftop.
Helicopter?
Right? Helicopter. Thank you.
Dangly ladder, classic.
And we meet Sam and his partner, Sergeant Curl. And they come up the stairs like out of breath, and they are not. No one taught them how to hold these sidearms. They're like carrying them like a kid like just got Halloween candy and doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's so. I need to let it go because it's 3 ninjas. All right.
It's 3 ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did you have a note in that?
well, no,
area?
I mean, so that was right before he went to Grandpa's.
Yes.
So he escaped, went to Grandpa's because he was
Goes
desperate.
well. He goes to his evil lair, which is like
he
whatever.
was desperate, so he's like, I'm gonna go back to my teacher, Grandpa.
Doesn't want to lay low at all.
There's just this one time when like he's leaving Grandpa's, and he does the finger whistle with his mouth,
I can't even do it to
but
imitate
doesn't touch his mouth. He made the motion, but never touched his lips, and I was just like, okay,
This is
that
cute.
loses a point for me.
Yeah.
That just
No one caught this in post.
my enjoyment level went down.
Oh, man.
1 point, 1 decimal.
We're gonna have to keep bringing up the music because there wasn't a lot of different choices. It was literally one or the other. This movie was black and white in terms of music.
They had about 5 moods.
Yeah.
They would just like kind of cycle through, like, you know, sad, intense, funny,
Silly, happy-go-lucky.
yes, romantic,
Basketball.
basketball. Let's talk about basketball for a second.
Okay.
So we get home from Grandpa's summer
and then
retreat.
they're back at their parents' house making pancakes or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
They
oh my
do go
gosh, they
home
start
and then we meet
cooking.
their parents. Yeah, they start cooking again.
like ninjas. And this is the second time I said out loud, is this the second movie we watched with ninja chefs?
Yeah, I think Ming and Grandpa hang out.
Yeah.
And he has his takeout
Yeah,
recipes.
the kids are whipping it up. And it's like, why would, as a father, why would you not want your kids to be this disciplined? They are very well behaved.
I would say so, except for Colt. Like, Colt makes the funny quips and stuff, and he's the jokester.
Yeah.
But, like, Tum Tum's a good kid, and then
Yeah.
I'd be super proud if, what's the oldest one's name? Not Robert, whatever the hell his name is.
That Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky's the leader, and
If my 5-year-old could cook rice properly,
excellent.
Grandpa, keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they whip up the thing. Basically, they're back going to school.
Yeah,
We meet the lovin'.
and then you go from proud to really embarrassed because they're on their bikes and they knock over a bunch of like garbage cans and just the postman is like, "Hey, what the hell?" Like,
Oh, they're a little disrespectful outside of their grandpas.
but it's
A
okay
little bit,
because they're
yes.
ninjas.
They're supposed to be rebellious, right?
Yeah.
Rocky's a show off for his love interest,
Oh man,
Emily. Rocky loves
Emily.
Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily.
Also, I don't think we get to it yet, but Emily and Rocky communicate in that scene with what I think was intended to be like the can
They're
phone.
next door neighbors.
There's no fucking string connecting those two cans.
There is. You
I
just
didn't see it.
You
at
are looking at
all.
your phone,
They're
typing
on,
like
hold on a
usual.
second. Let me just defend myself before I'm wrong again. They're held on those metal arms that are just on top of desks. Where is the?
There's a shot between their windows where you see the cord running across to her window. They're literally next door neighbors.
That was just their clothes. They're hanging on the lawn.
No,
Dang it!
Yeah, you missed it again.
I was taking diligent notes.
No, it's okay. Speaking of those notes,
So
do you have
weird.
any notes about basketball?
I do.
So of course the bullies of the neighborhood, suburbia.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this? It looked like New
Oh.
Mexico.
So it was all in L.A. It's called Oak Park, which is like south of Simi Valley. So we were kind of like
yeah.
close, but it's like more towards the 101. So it's like closer to like Santa Monica. Like
Okay.
like it's on. If you
Just
take the
very-
101,
very hilly.
very
big-
hilly,
big
still
suburbs.
suburbia. But like all of the other spots too were like somewhere near like L.A.
Gotcha.
This whole movie, because we thought, guys, like there's a neighborhood scene and it did look like it was like Breaking
A
Bad.
little bit, maybe
Yeah,
too
New
hilly
Mexico.
for Mexico, but yeah,
But
New Mexico.
I double checked and it was L.A.
Sure,
Most of it.
very cool.
Mhm.
Well, so the bullies, basically, these bullies, we've got maybe a gang of like 6 or 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Emily steals Emily's bikes. You know, Rocky tries to get it back by challenging them to basketball.
Yeah.
Fronts him 9 points, spots him 9 points.
That's confidence.
Yeah, and basically they're like, I guess because they're ninjas, they can do anything. That's what it felt like, right?
Yeah, there was so much traveling, it wasn't even funny.
And they're just doing really like street ball type of, like, he's throwing it behind his back and it's going in. And what does he end up doing? Dunking.
He does end up dunking
on a 10-foot rim. Because
Yeah.
why? He's a ninja.
He's a ninja. Where I have to find my basketball notes that we touch base on this. Oh man, I have so many that we're gonna just.
And the stakes were like, you know, if we win, we get back Emily's bikes. If you win, you get both of our bikes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their end game was bikes.
Yeah.
BMX bikes, which also call back ding 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 to the bikes of the bully and like.
Oh God, kids have bikes.
Yeah, BMX was
movies.
huge in the 90s. Like, what's the Leave It to Beaver recap? Like, that was all about a BMX bike. The Leave It to Beaver, or not recap, with the kid from Brink.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyways, so back to basketball. I said, oh man, I'm so happy this movie exposed the 90s Bulls championship secret. They were ninjas. I just wrote down it was a goaltending fiesta. Man, Patrick's new catchphrase for winter pickup games is, "I'm not showing off, I'm playing basketball."
Ooh, he did have it. And then you see, I have written down Emily's friend next to her bites her lip.
Oh
And
yeah,
looks at her
she's
friend
so.
like, that's your boy? Like, damn.
Can I have him? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I loved the confidence of Rocky.
Did this movie go to theaters, or was it just strictly home release?
It had to have to make $29 million.
I know, and there wasn't like toys. Whether I don't know. We clearly need to do a little bit more research.
So let's talk about that real quick. So we've got 3 more movies after this. So there's 4 movies total.
Blows my mind.
Not the same actors.
No.
But Grandpa returns.
Actually,
for
some of the
a
kids
couple.
have credits in the other movies, but they probably just like make a cameo.
Well, because they still use Grandpa, so
Mhm.
they're like implying that they're the same kids, which is kind of strange.
Yeah,
But
and is one of the bad guys Hulk Hogan? We found out.
yeah, Hulk Hogan was in the 4th,
Oh my god,
which did not do
well.
Yeah, and also like I guess it had a video game, so it was a big enough franchise to get that far,
Yeah,
right? I mean, they saw the success of 29 million and went, oh, jeez. I mean, these kids.
these kids are stupid.
Love Home Alone
Let's
and then
get 'em.
Turtles.
Yeah, man. To cap off the basketball guys, like it was just like one of those moments where I literally wrote, I think, are we about to get ninja basketball? And we did. That's exactly what that was. To end the basketball scene, I put, what a weird recess monitor choice. Oh my god, I walked away
That
from the notes.
teacher,
He looked
the gym teacher.
yeah, he looked like poster boy for like, I'm picturing John Walsh on like America's. The kids were last seen with this individual wearing glasses and blowing a whistle outside the recess grounds. Like, those kids are gone.
Yeah. And those, the bullies were also, I mean, the ninjas lost because the kids were fouling them completely, like pushing them down. And I mean, some of the kids, Rocky and Colt even like line up a couple times ready to fight. But like that gym coach.
Yeah, what about him? Did you look him up?
No. I
I
just
was
had
so
written
excited.
down the gym coach was drunk.
Oh, he may have been.
Or
he
at
had
least
a hangover.
hungover.
Yeah, I had the glasses.
I mean, he basically just walked up and just blew his whistle.
yeah.
Didn't say a line.
No, he walked up to them and was like,
He
"Hey, I
blew
hope
his whistle twice.
yeah,
He went up, blew his whistle
for the game.
for the end of recess.
Oh, for the end of recess,
and then pointed towards the building and then blew his whistle again.
man,
I
I wonder what he got paid for the day.
that's probably someone's husband that was like, oh, my, the costume director.
So good.
All right, so after that, let's get to our 3 and not bad guys, main bad guys.
There's 3 of them. Snyder.
So let's get to our 3 mini bad guys, the surfer guys.
Yes, yes. So very shortly after this basketball scene, we are suddenly in a
Introduced
convenience store.
To these 3 surfer stereotype 90, just
They are just stereotypes.
classic.
And they all have different hair colors. Obviously, that was important.
Yes.
And it's the greatest intro to them is they're all like ogling this magazine, and you naturally just think like it's
The surfer chick.
Yeah,
it's like
it's gonna be
Ocean
like,
Sports Illustrated.
and it's just a piece of wood. It's a
Surfboard.
surfboard. And they're like, oh, like it's gonna get some real swells, man. Like look at the curvature there.
I'd say my favorite part.
Yeah,
My
and
favorite
I
part.
think they were arguably tougher to face off with than the ninjas sometimes. Those ninjas were so incompetent.
Yeah, so basically they get hired by Snyder.
Mm-hmm. No, they're related to him. It's nepotism.
Oh, well, not Snyder. So
the
Snyder's
secretary.
Yeah, Snyder's right-hand man is like, I got someone for this.
Yeah, I got him, boys. I'll get these
And
kids
it's like,
for you.
This guy knows how dumb his nephew is, right? Yeah, it was his nephew who was Fester.
Yeah, Fester.
And Fester was the leader of these surfers.
Yeah, these guys had some great lines.
Great lines, for
We'll get
sure.
to those.
And so what do you got written down?
First we feast, then we felony.
Like what?
What about Providence has shined her light down on us?
Yeah. Wait, no. Do I have that whole one written down? Oh my God.
It seems that Providence has shined her lovely light upon us, and then they go, pizza time.
Like it is.
Okay, so they basically disguise themselves as pizza guys, go to the kid's house. Like these guys are not the most competent, and so we get to their house.
Finally, we get to the house, and again, they all have stub-nosed revolvers. For like, they just borrowed them from the earlier ninjas.
and so the kids are left alone with babysitter.
Yeah, and it's a neighbor. It's just a random old lady neighbor.
Yeah, they didn't really say anything, but she is creepy.
Oh, she's very creepy. She's like Mrs. Fig in Harry Potter. She's the one that like can't do magic and lives across the street.
Okay.
Creepy.
Okay.
People will know what I'm saying.
Okay, gotcha.
And
I have no idea.
what do? They
So the robbers come to the door. He
we
said,
got a call from 3 kids, and
Yeah.
if you don't get the pizza, like we'll get
we're
mad.
gonna charge you.
Yeah.
So she opens the door. They slam her in her face, which is awesome because they're all laughing their ass off when they do it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, gotcha, good, gotcha.
And there was a line, and please help me remember who said it. The good news is the pizza guy creamed the babysitter with the pizza. That means one of two things.
So while they're doing this to the babysitter, we see Colt at the top of the stairs witnessing this.
Yeah.
You know, and he runs into his room and goes,
Suddenly we're in Home Alone.
we got good news and bad news.
Yeah.
Good news is the pizza guys creamed the babysitter with the pizza.
Thank you. Oh my
And,
God.
they laugh, and so did we for certain reasons.
Terrible dialogue.
And then the bad news was they had guns, and there's, boom, the drama soundtrack comes in. So they go into ninja mode, and this is where the Home Alone aspect of the movie starts.
And who is in on this? Not the plan so much yet, but like it is important context. Like this is where the Rocky loves Emily. Like this is where like we realize like
So the boys are in the bathroom. I mean, the boys are in their bedroom.
yeah, it's like they're finishing their homework, getting ready for bed, whatever.
And Rocky's talking to Emily, and they're just being brotherly. They're making fun of him.
Yeah, and then this is the most like frustrating part was like they at this point do know that their house has been infiltrated by the bad guys.
Yeah, with guns.
With guns.
Yeah.
And the bad guys decide to eat pizza.
Well, they said that's where the first we feast, then we felony.
It's good za, too.
It's good sauce.
We never get za on our burglaries.
Yeah.
Like it was literally like
They were so good.
so
But
we're back
they were back in their room, and they could have called Emily for help.
right.
Emily could have called because they didn't have a phone in their room. They had this can
phone.
with a wire to Emily's
I missed
house.
the wire, but
Yeah,
it works.
It was there. And so basically they go, wait, but what if we defeat these guys and show Dad that our ninja skills are coming in hand? Like
the bad guys get full on pizza and Pepsi and come up the stairs, and this is when they're like, about to sneak into the room, and we know these kids. We've seen these kids before. They've got great agility, and like one of the kids is like hiding up underneath the bed, like we've seen in other scary movies where like you're hiding from the bad guy under the table, whatever. These guys gave up finding these kids so freaking fast that then it was like last one out has to shut the door, and
that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was an awesome scene. Basically, they went in the room and gave up pretty quickly.
yeah.
Yeah. They are like throwing slapstick comedy stuff. For instance, okay, let's go back to the bedroom talk real quick.
We don't want to hurt you.
Let's cut all that real
We
quick.
just want to kidnap you.
Save that for after this. Ready?
Okay.
So the bad guys fill up on pizza and Pepsi, go upstairs to break in.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they say? When they're trying to find these kids, what do they say?
First we no. Oh.
Come out, little dudes. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to kidnap you.
Like, it was like they sang it.
I mean, they were being nice. Like, dudes, we don't want to hurt you. Just come with us. And
Yeah.
so they bust into their room, can't find them.
I thought that the main bad one looked like Joey Fatone from NSYNC, so I was like, why did Joey Fatone have to resort to a life of crime when his boy band career was going so well?
It was, and that wasn't him. But I'd be surprised if you thought that. I wouldn't be surprised if you thought that was actually him.
No, it's the guy.
I know.
Oh, yeah, we're racking up a high score here.
Yeah. So basically, these kids, they
Their
put on their
masks.
masks. Their grandpa gave them their robes. They hide in their room.
And then they take all of the lessons they learned from Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Yeah.
And they tie the doorknob to the other doorknob. They put jelly beans on the floor.
Yeah, and then maybe vegetable oil on the hallway so they slip, and
they make pepper bombs.
yeah. And actually, so while you were taking notes, I watched a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
That is, it's called Witch Ninja,
Yeah, talk about that for a second.
and he just dissects ninja culture throughout, history, pop culture, video games, movies, and just kind of sees how realistic they actually were being with their research and their
just compares the two.
Their ninja.
Their ninja abilities. Their
Yeah,
ninja,
what's the word I'm thinking about?
just the accuracy.
Their accuracy to ninja culture, right?
Mhm.
And this guy had more positives to say about this film than negatives. I mean, because some of the techniques that ninjas use, they were doing in that Home Alone skit, right?
Mhm.
Like the jelly beans weren't sharp, but they still, ninjas used to throw stuff down.
They threw CDs like shurikens.
and those were like the ninja blade, the
Yeah,
ninja stars.
stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they kind of did stuff like the powder bombs. When Tum Tum's making the powder,
Yeah.
they had those, right? And Tum Tum was actually had a formula going. It wasn't like he was a kid that just started putting shit together.
No, like they definitely were most likely taught that by their grandpa.
Yeah.
at
So like
the kitchen.
Yeah. And so like this
They
YouTube
also
channel goes into like depth of like
yeah.
how accurate it actually was.
And if I remember one thing that really like made my head tilt when you were watching that video, because I do remember one thing, and it was talking about the use of laxatives. Like ninjas do use poison.
yeah.
So like they were like, that's kind of accurate. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's
They
a
don't just
s-
have
yeah,
Miralax running
it's a
around.
silly kid thing because while they're home aloneing these these kidnappers,
Yeah, Dumb and Surfer.
they
Jeez.
basically get them to drink laxative because
Mhm.
of the red pepper bomb in their face and so
Patrick-
of course there's a poop scene.
Yeah,
you
to
know.
your best recollection, how do they get them to drink the laxative?
Tum Tum walks in with the Coke in his hand.
It's already mixed.
And he goes, yum, this is so good. He doesn't drink it.
And
but
I'll
just
be
puts it down on the counter.
Hey, give me that. And they literally just like they're overcome by thirst from getting pepper bombed in the face.
Yeah, well, right now, at this moment, they have their heads under the sink. So, I mean, any kind of,
Liquid.
yeah,
is
I
beneficial.
because it went in their mouth as well.
Yeah. And not just one of the it's all three. It's two of them. I
Two of
think the
them,
other
yeah,
guy is
yeah.
hiding somewhere.
Well, that comes down to,
Oh, he's being choked out on the staircase. That's where he is. The other two idiots are in the kitchen. The other guy,
Yes.
he's not
Yes.
choking. He's fine. You
no,
guys.
he could just actually get up on his knees and untie it himself.
Yeah.
But, well, and like I said, it's a kid's movie.
This movie.
This movie might not make sense.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
love it, though.
basically, we get to the point where they have them all, in a corner with
Yeah.
the guns held up to them, right? Oh no,
Well, we
the
missed it.
the surfer guys, the kidnappers,
Mm-hmm.
are like, these guys are dangerous.
Yeah,
So
we
they're
don't want to
like,
mess with these guys.
Let's go to their room and find
and
out
find their fatal flaw.
their fatal flaw.
Yeah. And what do they find? Oh my God, is that where we're
It's on the
we got the
TV
TV up
right
right now.
now.
So like they decide that like they're gonna fight fire with fire and find their fatal flaw. What's their fatal flaw? Emily.
Because why? Rocky loves Emily.
So like they're just playing with the
They
can
call
phone.
her on the
Yeah.
phone, and he does a really good impression of Rocky, like, come over to my
Meet me down at the staircase. And she's like, okay, I'll be right over.
Yeah, so and she's in bed sleeping, so
Yeah.
her parents also deserve a negative gold star for letting her just walk out of the house.
If they were even there.
So they snag her, basically put a gun to her head.
And was it before then or after that they did the so like they're shooting the CDs at these guys on the
That was
staircase?
before, yeah.
And I just real quick like wrote down like they should have been calling out the artists on the seat, like Ricky Martin, Mambo number 5, 98 degrees. Like I would have like
Yeah.
oh my god.
Well, and during that scene, dude, I had to rewind for you
We
to
did.
see it
I
because
missed it.
the stunt double or that actor, maybe he just went balls to the wall. He literally slips on the jelly beans and just like plants himself and jumps into the wall.
It wasn't an accident. It clearly was something they couldn't fix with post.
No,
So
the
he gets
trajectory-
up.
yeah.
He's totally fine. He's not even near the other bad guy to like slip, and he just jumps like
Pile drives the
Blue
wall.
Skidoo Weekend 2 into the fucking corner of this staircase wall.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I had to rewind it.
oh my god.
So anyway, they kidnap Emily, put a gun to her head. The two bad guys start getting the laxative problems, so they go away.
Cut to parents in the car because they're
On the way home. Yeah.
and that's when we do learn the mom is Asian. That's her dad. Because I was trying to figure it out. Besides the point.
Yes.
So back to the house.
And basically, the surfer guys have failed basically, and then the bad guys, the real bad guys, show up and take the kids.
And we do like maybe you don't, Patrick, but I need you guys to remember. I need you guys to remember what type of music is playing during all of these shenanigans, because then the music that you're accustomed to, which I'll give you a little recap, will hopefully play it for you. But okay, suddenly bad guy is sitting on the toilet, like letting go of the laxatives, and the kids are like, "Whoa!" Stick a plunger in his face, and it's like,
Craziest sound. Like we looked at each other and went, "What was that?"
they were trying. It was a synth, and they were definitely trying to make it sound like a guitar. So it was just like they
it just went. What?
It was insane.
Yeah. And like it's funny how we're talking about it,
And
and
it
on
happens.
the
Oh
on the
my God.
TV to our left, it's just like rolling perfectly.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. They used like they had like warthog like animal trophies, and they just like
I mean,
try to stab him with these warthog teeth.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
let's wrap it up. Basically, not wrap it up, but let's get to the point where Grandpa comes in full cosplay
yeah, so
down the street. Cops are everywhere. FBI is everywhere because the kids are kidnapped.
right,
Mom
and so they left the house.
Yeah, Mom and Dad are crying their eyes out because Snyder just ended up his top-notch goons came and just like picked them up.
and the three dudes, they just left. The
They
three bad guys are fugitives.
They were
right
like,
now.
he was like, "Hey, can we get paid?"
yeah. So
So basically, we get to
the kids are
climax of the movie.
they are now fully kidnapped. They're not
Fully
just at
kidnapped, yes.
they're not the comfort of their house. They are
not
taken
pre-kidnapped.
aboard the USS Victory.
Yes,
and
the ship.
they're put in like this like really old like brig type room with just like spider webs in the corner and like the weird fish
And it's
net.
pretty easy for them to escape because they're, what are they? Ninjas.
Right.
Yes.
But even though that they are ninjas, they also have the luxury of there's a fucking telephone inside this room, and they're stuck in this room, and you never see that telephone. Like that's how they got out. Am I wrong?
No,
here?
you're right, but I might have seen it, right? And
I don't think
I
I
don't think
saw
you could be that accurate with your statement, like
Well,
that, because you were looking at your phone for half the.
Okay. So as
No,
far as I can,
basically he called, but that phone only went to
the bad guys.
the bad guys.
Yeah.
Mission control, basically the
I know.
front lobby of the ship, or security.
It's just
So
weird.
he basically tricked them into calling back.
But they have a guy on the outside of the door guarding the door. They're inside a locked brig
Yeah.
room.
Rocky
And-
calls
Yeah, but like before then, they're like, the Rocky's like, we should lead through like friendship and like this is how we're gonna overcome this. And Colt's a real dick, so he's like, oh well, then I'll just go be friends with this doorknob. I guess we don't have any friends in here.
In this environment, a ninja should always look at his environment and be friendly to his environment.
Yeah,
and Colt was being a
prick.
D-bag.
Yeah,
but also Colt was being a D-bag because Colt was mad at his grandpa.
Yeah,
because he trained Snyder, the bad guy. So they thought Grandpa was a bad guy for most of the movie.
I don't even think that they knew that he trained him yet. They did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I watched something else.
Your phone
I knew that they were like, he's their friend. Like Grandpa sold us out.
Pretty epic. Like all the FBI lights are shining in, and it's
freeze! No, put your guns down. That's my father-in-law.
and I wrote down like. Actually, never mind. Just shoot him. Because he does not like this father-in-law.
No.
So the father-in-law, Grandpa, comes up and says, let me go find them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, I'm with the FBI. I don't really think I can just do that. And he's like, trust me. So the Grandpa goes and finds them, fights Snyder. We have a massive Karate Kid, like, last battle, slow-mo. Grandpa's getting his butt kicked. Right?
Totes.
All the kids do their thing.
Yeah.
Grandpa looks over bloody as ever.
They're totally into this fight, and then suddenly just tears streaming down all of their faces.
Grandpa's getting his butt kicked.
Yeah.
For sure.
Again with the awesome, like, super cool synth. Like he's like on the other side of like a roundhouse kick, like spinning to the ground.
Yes.
It's like
yeah. And clearly, Snyder cheated, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But Grandpa had some jelly beans in his hand.
That's the thing.
Tum Tum handed him the jelly beans for good luck.
Yeah.
Before the fight.
So Grandpa taught the kids how to use pepper bombs. He then equally taught Snyder how to use pepper bombs. Well, and then that's the thing with Grandpa and the jelly beans, okay? Grandpa shows up at the FBI already surrounding that house and disappears while still outside. He didn't just go into the house and get jelly beans for his encounter with Snyder, did he?
No, remember Tum Tum gave them to him. Because Tum Tum keeps the bag on him.
Oh my God! I please, when I'm wrong here, show these clips.
I will.
Oh my God!
For sure. I love when you're wrong.
Oh my God!
So one thing that happens in a lot of these movies, which I know it's just choreography and it's a '90s movie and it's for kids, but like Grandpa starts off this battle with a sword. I mean, he's swinging at Snyder, almost gonna, like, if any one of these land, they'll do serious damage, maybe kill him.
Yeah.
And then he gets him down on the ground at the very end. Grandpa finally wins, and he has his knuckles at his face like, no, I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I'm the better man. But it's like, if any one of those sword swings would have hit him, he'd be dead. So it's like,
yeah. Meanwhile, Rocky has the dexterity and accuracy to cut other ninjas' clothes off without cutting them.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes, it's a classic kid joke. His shorts fall down. But that guy that they cut his shorts off of, like, he cowered in fear for the kids seeing his boxers. Like, I'm defeated. My boxers.
And it was the same guy that, like, he's holding his sword.
His
Like
a crazy guy. And it's like, I've been exposed. These little kids can see my skin.
I guess.
But, okay, back to the jelly beans. Grandpa puts them in his mouth.
He just had them in his mouth.
No.
Oh, in
Grandpa
Snyder's?
takes the jelly beans.
Yeah.
Grandpa takes them out of his ninja pocket, puts them down Snyder's mouth while he's laughing in victory. And that's how Grandpa beats Snyder.
And then the FBI pulls out their guns from
Beats
the
him
ceiling.
Up. Snyder gets up and goes, you think I'm going to let you leave? Like,
Yeah.
ninjas,
And all the ninjas have M16s.
They're all, yes. Dad shows up.
With the FBI.
Sam. Dad shows up and is the hero as well. So that way Grandpa and Dad can be hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's about time we get this family back together.
Yeah. And then Dad, of course, is like, you know what? I've been wrong.
Yeah.
I've been
Forget
wrong.
what I said about you not hanging out with these kids and tickling them.
Grandpa. Just don't tickle them.
Yeah.
So Dad and Grandpa basically make amends.
The mom's happy again.
Yes, everything's good. And do you remember how we end the movie?
With basketball.
Kinda.
No, not yet. So yeah, they get back home, happy family. They're back in their neighborhood again, and we see Emily. And Emily's
They're walking home from school because their bikes are gone.
yeah, well, so one of them has a bike. The other two got stolen.
Yes.
And we see Emily, who still has her bike, but these same bullies corner Emily and take her bike. And when the boys find Emily, she's bikeless, they're running away. They're like, we'll go get your bike back. Subplot, after the ultimate evil has been defeated, the bike needs to be gathered.
Well,
Like, I don't know why they needed the scene at all.
Obviously, you couldn't let bullies, especially in this era of movies, you couldn't let bullies get away with it. Like, there was always a, like,
they'll get
they'll
theirs.
get what's coming to they'll get theirs. Yeah.
They'll get what's coming to
Yeah,
them.
they'll get theirs. But so, like, for instance, they finally get to use their karate against the bullies.
Yeah, Colt was the one losing his cool in the beginning, and all of a sudden, like, this is the end of the movie. They've learned their lessons. Here's Rocky applying everything he knows at this point is like, let it go. Don't give in to your anger.
Defies his grandpa's wishes.
Right. And the thing that they also educated us as the audience on was like, never use your ninja powers on someone that is weaker than you.
Yeah.
So that's Rocky's kind of like.
Yeah, but they just throw all that out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And just kick this guy's ass.
Uh-huh.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, this bully has slapped him in the face.
Yeah, they totally deserved it.
Yeah, exactly.
He couldn't avoid this.
But
this
like,
time.
he looks back at Emily, and he goes, like, permission to come aboard.
Well, he says,
No, he's like,
show off.
and she goes, now you can show off, and just kicks this guy's butt.
And then 10 minutes of hiya, hiya.
And then all the bullies run and ditch the bikes that they stole.
And now they have double the
they
bikes
get
they
their
started
bike.
with. And a backpack.
No, they just take their own bikes, and they ride off into the sunset. I mean, right off into suburbia, back to their parents' house, and that's basically it, right?
That's
so,
hot.
And yeah, so I mean, what'd you think?
Really confused.
No, you're not. Let's think of your 9-year-old booty, 9-year-old. Let's think of
My
your
9-year-old butt.
booty. Let's think of your,
My 9-year-old self.
yeah. What would you think about this? How about let's go with the 9-year-old self score?
Oh
Okay?
my
Instead of
God.
enjoyment level.
I think I definitely would have walked to that theater going, yeah! Like I would have been stoked.
What's your 9-year-old self score? 9-year-old booty score.
That kid couldn't count. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my 9-year-old booty score as well would probably be a 9.2 out of 10 for sure.
I mean, it's a staple for like the kids in the 90s that like had those dads that like wanted them to like be, or I don't know, maybe it was just their own volition, like they wanted to be.
I think what made it successful was how good the ninja kids were.
Yeah.
I mean, because they not only were good at karate, but I think they were pretty good actors. I mean,
Yeah.
they sold it for sure. I think
Yeah.
how funny and entertaining the slapstick Home Alone comedy was.
The Three Surfer Bros.
And then the rest of it kind of falls into line. Yeah, the Surfer Bros are just a great, non-scary villain to fight,
yeah.
right?
I'm gonna bring this up. Like, I think I read somewhere that like they filmed this in '92, and like I said earlier, I think for whatever reason it took a little bit for this to get to theaters. I remember reading something about like in '95, but like it says '92, so I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
so I have here
How
right
old were
now,
you?
the release date was August 7th, 1992 in theaters.
But you were months old. So how old were you?
Yeah.
Do you think when you saw this?
So whatever you read you didn't read, you're wrong again.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, okay, go on.
Third time's a
But
charm.
like I said, I think I told you I saw this on VHS
Yeah, so
when
you-
I was like 6.
6. So
or
around
7.
around that time, I probably the same age when I first saw Space Jam. Now, if I would have seen this movie with the basketball scene and Space Jam, I might be that ninja playing basketball warrior that we got to witness in Three Ninjas. I might be on that level.
Is that where your life took a turn? Like
I thought that I
those
was
two things didn't line up for you?
yeah. I want to talk a little bit about some of this research that I did that's about the people that were in this movie.
Okay, who do we got?
So Victor Wong, that is Grandpa. He was also Egg Shen in Big Trouble in Little China. This was actually one of his last films. Sadly, he was born in like 1927. So
Not this one.
This
but
one.
Not this one.
Oh no, this series of films.
Yeah, I think he
Three
went to the
Ninjas.
third one, maybe. I think the third was his last, maybe.
Yeah, and then Michael Trainer, who played Rocky, he trained in Taekwondo. and karate, and he only did the 3 ninja movies aside from being an extra in a movie called Best of the Best 2. Never seen it.
Amazing.
Max Elliott Slade, who played Colt, he was in the Parenthood with Steve Martin and the 3 Ninja movies and Apollo 13. And then Chad Thomas Power. This was Tum Tum, childhood actor, young martial arts black belt, starred in the 3 Ninjas, 3 Ninjas Knuckle Up, as the character named Michael Douglas. Yeah, so the next 2, right?
His name was Michael Douglas, Tum Tum.
Yeah. Michael Douglas. Oh, my God. That's amazing. Let's see here. He has not acted in anything since 1995. So, like, all 3 of those guys kind of like, this isn't for us. Clifton Powell, he's the actor that played Agent Curl. He was also Jeff Brown in the movie Ray with Jamie Foxx, about the biopic about Ray Charles. He is a character in a video game that we both played that I found this out, and I was like, no way. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So the Grove Street gang is like the gang that welcomes CJ when he gets out of prison, and they live on that block.
Okay.
He is Big Smoke, the guy with the hat that, like, he orders like 70 things at the drive-through window. Like, he is a staple comedic character in that goes bad in Grand Theft Auto. He does become like the antagonist. And this guy has had a career since like 1981 through 2023, and I can honestly tell you, I went through that whole list. The only thing I recognized was that he was Big Smoke in Grand Theft Auto.
I didn't really play it that detailed.
San Andreas?
Yeah.
This guy was a staple in the story, and I love the Grand Theft Auto
okay.
stories. That's it.
That's it.
That's 3 Ninjas.
Well, I had a blast watching this.
I did too.
I had a blast talking about it.
Uh-huh.
It definitely brought back some great memories.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're going to do, so we got a lot of these episodes on Spotify.
Yep.
Correct.
Spotify. Just
and
pull this up.
Yeah, we got them on Spotify right as of now. And so we're going to do a shorter version for YouTube and then the longer one on Spotify if you want to get a little bit, maybe like 15 or 20 minutes more or something like that.
And if you're not on Spotify, we're on Podcast Index, Amazon Music, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, wherever you get your podcasts, as long as they're not. Apple's just being really rude right now,
Are they?
you guys.
They don't like us. They know I'm an Android user.
It says submitted, and it said 2 weeks verification.
Gotcha.
It has.
Gotcha.
They're out of
So
time.
eventually it'll be there, but yeah, you get the longer version on Spotify, and then we'll do a little edited version for YouTube. So.
Yeah, if you're a visual learner, come to our YouTube channel. We have Patrick and I have a lot of fun with the visuals for this, and what we are building towards eventually. You want to tell him? Should I tell him?
You know, I don't. You know, I don't like when you put us in a box.
You're right.
Don't tell them what we're gonna do.
All right. You guys will never figure it out.
No, but basically we're just kind of getting the hang of things, getting the swing of it, and hopefully just kind of keep pumping these things out, huh?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
like, subscribe, share with your friends. This has been the PatCave Podcast. I'm Pat Clark.
And I'm Alex Booty. And this was 3 Ninjas.
Nah, let me leave. What's one of the quotes?
No, that was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
How about we end with Rocky loves
Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily.
Work it.